Welcome to 2021, everybody. We made it.
There's a rumor that it's actually December 36th, 2020 right now.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, not much to talk about in 2020, really. I mean,
No, it kind of came and went.
yeah, is that nothing too newsworthy or no? That is, as all of you know, not the case. So hopeful, and we'll get into kind of our predictions for 2021 in regards to the real estate market, but I think everybody's on the same page that it's going to be a much better year. 2020 sure brought its challenges, but as we've mentioned before in our videos and our Christmas party video, it was a phenomenal year for the real estate market here locally.
Yes, it was.
Grant, what do you think were the largest contributors to that fact?
Well, obviously, the writing's on the wall. I'm sure COVID was the number one generator, but honestly, pre-COVID, we've now seen in Bend specifically for probably 6 or 7 years an influx of people. I think they're saying it's like 3,000 people a year, somewhere close to that. And that's basically what we've hit. And COVID added to that, just with the remote worker and telecommuting being by far, I would say probably now the largest employer here or employment sector in Bend, telecommuting. So that's the number one, just the exodus from the big cities. And but what's interesting is Bend is now getting to the point where it's almost too big for certain people. I mean, we're
starting to lose some
of our
native population
to smaller areas, and that's just a byproduct of getting over that 100,000 person barrier, which we did in 2020. As I think we mentioned earlier, we're now the 5th largest city in the state of Oregon, just ahead of Beaverton. And it's just the natural migration of people wanting to get out of big areas, come to more, not rural, but suburban areas. And Bend is on the top of almost everybody's list just because of everything we have.
Yeah. And kind of, unexpected, I'd say, in our office was the fact that interest rates plummeted even lower than where they were at.
So we've been wrong for 2 years straight on that.
Yeah. Which just helped kind of even further throw off the supply and demand scale. I mean, the demand is incredibly huge right now. We don't see that letting up. Traditionally this time of year is the slowest in regards to real estate transactions. With just the COVID environment, it'll be interesting to see kind of what the first quarter of 2021 is like. But I think we experienced a much busier fourth quarter than we typically do. We haven't really had a chance to review our stats, but just the feel of it and the amount of activity going on, we didn't experience that winter lull. So supply remains our biggest issue. I mean, there's just not inventory out there. So people who may want to sell their house can't find the home or property that they'd want to move to. And then buyers out there in certain price ranges, and that price range now used to be kind of in that $350,000 price point. Now it extends up to like $3 million. It's even hard to find a house.
Absolutely.
And so, we're seeing these bidding wars. We're seeing homes. I was going to write up this morning on a home that, sounded like it had a cash offer that was maybe $80,000 above listing price, and that was in the low 8s. And so it's very competitive out there.
Well, there was a story in the Oregonian, some of you may have seen it. There were 6 home sales in the state of Oregon this year that went for $200,000 or more over asking.
And 3 of them were in Bend?
That might be.
I think it was 3 of them were in
Central Oregon.
In Central Oregon.
So, and we know one of them.
Yeah.
So, in fact, my prediction, Matt, I'll make one prediction about 2021, and take this with a grain of salt because all of my predictions have been wrong the last couple of years, is that even if you see a national level pullback in real estate, because of how short our supply is here in Central Oregon, I don't know if it's going to have any impact on us because
I would agree.
Demand is still going to be so much stronger than supply, even with any sort of pullback in national real estate, that I don't know that we're going to feel it.
I think we're pretty protected here for the next 5 years or so, and I think we're going to continue to see pretty healthy appreciation, which is different than what we said last year, where we thought we were going to stabilize and see more single digits. I mean, I think the average appreciation is 100,000 in the Bend residential market over the last year. Is that right? Something like that.
Well, I mean, it depends on your price point.
It depends on your price point, but I thought I heard some stat.
We saw we saw the median home price jump about $100,000 this year in Bend.
Yeah, maybe that's
And so that was absolutely phenomenal. Who could have predicted that? Obviously, we felt the effects of COVID early on like everybody else. We had about a 4-week stretch right from the middle of March where things kind of shut down for us, and then it absolutely went into hyperdrive. So, looking back on 2020 here for the Robinson-Ludwick group, obviously we were thrilled to be able to grow and bring new team members on, and we look forward to just fostering that culture that we've created here at Robinson-Ludwick, and hopefully for those of you that have worked with us, you felt that and will continue to feel it.
And it allowed us to give more too. We've really embraced the spirit of giving. We've always made that a part of our team and Grant and I's partnership. And so the more business we do, the more we're able to give. And so we're thankful for our clients and all you guys out there for putting your trust in us and sending business our way. And we're going to continue to do that, obviously, here into 2021. So the more business we do, the more we get to give back to our community.
And a special shout out to our referral partners. And you know who you are, those who referred business to us in 2020. We hope that you are enjoying or will enjoy those Hydro Flask backpacks.
Oh, cooler backpacks. Hydro Flask cooler backpacks. Yep. I mean, that is a cool gift.
It's a cool gift.
Pretty excited about that. And we just love to show our appreciation for folks that, again, are sending friends and family our way. And we know we took great care of them. One prediction I have for 2021 and beyond, I guess I could say, is the luxury home market. I think these homes, $1 million homes used to be pretty slow-moving inventory here in the Bend and Central Oregon area. Now they're flying off the shelves, and I think those homes that we see in that, $1 million to $2.5 million price point, we are going to start seeing becoming pushed into the $2 to $6 million price point, and maybe even beyond that. We've seen some massive luxury residential sales, and there's more buyers that are selling their companies in San Francisco or New York and are moving here flush with cash, and even local people who have started businesses and had some liquidation events where they're looking in the $3 to $7 million price point for these luxury estates in Tumalo or even in the Broken Top and within the city limits.
Well, and I think so. Referring back to our previous comment about the median home price, we're just about $600,000 for a median home price in Bend. And my belief is that we're less than 5 years away from having a median home price of probably $1 million in Bend.
Wow!
And that obviously is a game changer. I mean, the tough part, obviously, being isolated here in Central Oregon from other communities, that's going to present challenges with affordability and certain employment sectors being kind of priced out of being here, because we've also seen the inventory levels have not just impacted the sales market, it's impacted the rental market. And so we've seen there was a glass ceiling on, it was about $3,000 on rental rates in Bend. It for the longest time, didn't matter how nice the property was, it was so hard to get over $3,000 a month in rent, because at that point with prices, people were just satisfied to, even if it wasn't exactly what they wanted, buy a house because they didn't want to pay that much in rent. Well, now there's several instances of people paying $35,000, $4,000, even $4,500 a month, and obviously with furnished river type settings even higher than that. And so the rental market has been just as impacted here.
Yeah, no, that's a great point.
So
I think the other major thing is Bend, as Grant mentioned, has kind of reached a tipping point, and we're becoming more of a metropolis. Is that the right word for it? Maybe not quite there yet.
We are a micro. I can't remember what the word is. We should. We're real estate. But yes, we aren't like a metropolis or a metropolitan area, but we're a micropolitan area. That's what it is.
Micropolitan.
We're micropolitan.
Yeah, but we're not small town USA anymore.
No.
And because of that, we are attracting large-scale projects. So 2020 saw the completion of what is now the tallest building in Bend.
Yes.
With the new apartment complex on the west side, took over the old Ray's food market. We participated in some upscale apartments that are being built on the river by the Shevlin Ice Skating Rink. That's an out-of-town developer. And we have these institutional monies coming in. We've met with folks that have billion-dollar funds to spend in senior housing, multifamily, the industrial parks, hotel. I mean, we've seen the major brands come into our market I think we'll see more upscale boutique hotels. But I mean, we're talking large scale $100 million projects within the city limits of Bend that are going to be very new and exciting and will be interesting to watch unfold and how they change the dynamics of our city in the next 5 to 10 years here. Well, even more immediate than that, maybe 2 to 5 years.
Right. Well, and just as a reminder, the residential real estate market is the base of that pyramid, of that triangle. So when we're talking about prices in the residential markets that are continuing to skyrocket and multi-million-dollar homes becoming normal as opposed to kind of the exceptional thing, that's only going to elevate what Matt's talking about with your commercial level projects becoming more upscale, more expensive. So, I mean, you were just referring to what's the store? We can give a shout out right now. In fact, the shirt you're wearing.
Fjallraven?
Fjallraven, super high end.
Maybe that's not how you pronounce it. I don't know.
Well, either way, downtown, check it out. And it's, you have upscale living like we haven't had before here in Bend. And it's not, I don't think it's a flash in the pan. I think that this is the way that the city's trending. Matt, you've said for years that one of the appeals to Bend is that we are like an Aspen or a Vail or a Jackson Hole or a Sun Valley in that we are this mountain town, but we are incredibly affordable
compared to those. Yeah, and it's all relative. So I think that's exactly what's happening. I think, that upscale luxury, market kind of across the board is going to see tremendous growth in coming years, and that's just going to pull up the rest of the inventory as well.
Absolutely. So if you're an investor, take a deep breath. I still think that you're going to be able to make some money, especially if you have a long-term horizon, but it's going to sting a little bit to invest here right now because prices aren't what they were even a year ago. If you're an owner-occupant home buyer, as long as you feel good about your job, have no fear about jumping into this market. Interest rates are still historically low, and as we've alluded to, we think that prices, over the next probably 10 to 12 years could literally double as far as the median home price goes. So
absolutely. And in touching back on the investor note, it's going to be interesting to see the fallout from COVID. We know restaurants are struggling. We know retail is struggling. We know that this is kind of a whole new world we live in, and kind of falling in line with those telecommuters moving into the area because they can work remotely. The whole office environment has changed, and those office buildings are going to find themselves being vacated, I think, here in the near future, especially these larger office spaces,
right,
as these larger companies encourage employees to work remotely. So there probably is going to be some interesting opportunities and some good deals to be had on those office buildings, retail strip centers, and if you're a savvy investor, developer, getting creative about repurposing those into the newest, highest, and best use will be interesting.
Oh, that's exciting. No, I look forward to it. I mean, it's a great time to be in Bend and to be in real estate. We wouldn't, hide or run from that notion. It's really fun. It's exciting to see how it's unfolding and to be a part of it. So, anyway, I think that's I think it's very relaxed. We're sitting down. I just feel
it is. I hope there's a crackling fire behind us. I think that's the appropriate background for this.
I think there is, and I'm starting to sweat because of it, actually.
It's a little warm in this office. But hey, here's to just a prosperous 2021. Here's to ending 2021 COVID-free, back to reality.
Amen.
Hopefully ending, in March or April. I don't know. But just getting back to a sense of reality, back to our normal lives, mask-free, and just moving on from all this chaos.
And if you want 2021 to be a great year, I think we highly recommend, if you haven't already, read the book The Go-Giver. It was my favorite book from our book club in 2020. I think it'll orient just your mind frame and your mindset to what's really important to being able to add value to those people around you. It's certainly what we try to do every single day. So The Go-Giver for 2021 if you haven't already.
Absolutely. And a huge part of that book that was enlightening for me was the fact that in order for the circle of giving to work, you have to be able to receive.
Yeah.
And we are here to receive all your business in 2021. You like that ending?
You know what? And final PSA, always wear sunscreen.
Thanks, you guys. We'll see you on our next Tuesday tidbit and throughout the year. Look forward to it. Hey, thanks so much for watching today's video. If you haven't already, make sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Our handles are shown here on the screen, and you can always find our contact information or more about us on www.buysellbend.com. Thanks.